Cuckoo, cuckoo everybody, Coach Rab here, and today's lesson is going to be all about brain health. So taking care of the top 2 inches and maximising its repair and recovery. And that's right, your brain actually can repair, or sections of it can completely regrow. There's parts that you can't do much about, but there are parts that you can. Now our brain is made up of 60% fat. It's the fattiest organ in the body, and it also uses 20% of our total energy. So think yourself thin in a lot of ways, but it does use a lot of energy to process our body. So the nutrition advice I'm going to give today is going to be based on improving your memory, your concentration, your focus. It can help with mood disorders, and most importantly, above all else, reduce brain inflammation. Now, inflammation across the body is harmful always, but no more is that true than in the brain. So we want to reduce brain inflammation as much as we can. So first of all, we want to look at what is causing the damage. Okay, so you may have heard of omega-3s, which we'll get to in a moment, but omega-6s cause damage in the brain. Okay, the increased inflammation in the brain. Those omega-6s are present in most of your sort of manufactured oils, soy oil, canola oil, all these kind of things as well. Certain foods that are heated up too much, if they're fried, can also cause this with the trans fats and whatnot. So omega-6s are going to cause inflammation in the brain, and they are a huge problem. But a bigger problem than that is sugar. Now sugar, I waffle on about this all the time, is a huge problem across the entire body. The reason for this is an energy source that our body can whoa, we want this. It's fast acting energy, and our bodies get excited for it. But unfortunately, in this day and age, there's a lot of sugar and refined carbs in our diets. And when these foods are consumed, there is a rise in insulin in the body, which then leads to a rise in what's known as insulin resistance. So rise in sugar means a rise in insulin to deal with that sugar, and when that goes on for a period of time, your body gets into what's known as insulin resistance. Now, unfortunately, with insulin resistance is it starves the neurons of the energy that it requires, and they eventually die. Now, this is a huge problem, as you can imagine. You starve the neurons of the energy it requires, and the brain starts to get damaged. So sugar is a big problem. So ultimately, we need to avoid the omega-6s, and we need to control our sugars. Now, it's no secret that type 3 diabetes is what they call Alzheimer's now. They're linking those two together for the very reason is if you have high levels of sugar leading to insulin resistance, then the requirement of insulin in some shape or form, it damages the neurons in the brain. And that's why they're calling it type 3 diabetes. So we really want to get a handle on this. But fear not, there is some solid nutrition that you can do to take back control, but also to help repair and regrow the parts of your brain that you maybe have damaged through eating too much sugar or too much foods that are high in omega-6. Okay, so you might have heard that fish is the answer for repairing the brain, or eat fish, it's good for the brain, but I'm going to explain why. Now, oily fish, things like wild-caught salmon, is high in DHA and EPAs, okay? That's ultimately then your omega-3s. Now, your omega-3s act as an anti-inflammatory. So the omega-6s cause inflammation in the body. Omega-3s cause anti-inflammation, and especially in the brain, which is so important for recovering those neurons and helping them repair. Now, the reason it needs to be wild-caught salmon is wild-caught salmon has a pink pigment to it. Farm-bred salmon is typically grey, and they add the pink pigmentation in. So that's no use. So the wild-caught salmon has a really important nutrient. Now, I'm probably going to butcher the pronunciation here, but you'll hear it anyway. Astaxanthin. It's a phytonutrient, and it's very important for improving cognitive function and repairing the neurons from the damage. So it protects and repairs the neurons from the damage of the likes of insulin resistance and the omega-6s. Okay, that is only going to be in your wild-caught salmon. Now, there will be people out there that won't eat fish, and I completely get that, but you can supplement these. You can supplement DHA and EPAs, and they will definitely help cognitive function, memory, and all the other good stuff. Now, to complement all that, you want to include your dark leafy greens as well. Kale is especially good at this. So there's phytonutrients you're going to get to boost up and go alongside if you're having salmon or omega-3s in general. You also, for the brain, want to boost your B vitamins. Now, if you've ever gone through periods of consuming too much sugar, right, which might then lead to insulin resistance in some shape or form, high blood sugar levels deplete the B vitamins. So when you then consume extra B vitamins, it's very, very good for the brain. So definitely include that. Throwing in some fasting can help. Now, if you're not on any medication and you're allowed to fast, whilst I normally promote 12-hour fasting, 18-hour fasting is really, really good for reducing the inflammation in the brain and giving your focus and determination a bit of a spike. So you might want to think about including, now and again, an 18-hour fast. And then the big one, the nice and simple, if you have some sort of meeting, some sort of situation where you need to be on the ball, ensure you have a large glass of water just beforehand. We talk about hydration all the time, but our brains are like 70% water and beyond, okay? If you start to get dehydrated in any shape or form, guess what? You're going to feel up here first, and you're going to lose focus, feel fatigued and all that stuff. Having a glass of water just beforehand has always helped me feel more. Just before I recorded this, took a large glass of water, lots of energy, and I got stuck in. So to get the brain focused and boost for what you want to do, a large glass of water beforehand. So to summarize, in order to improve your brain function, you want to avoid sugars. You want to avoid the omega-6s. They are causing damage to your brain, okay? Then what you want to do is you want to increase your omega-3s. You want to increase your EPAs. You're going to have lowered your sugar, but then you're also going to include, hopefully, some wild-caught salmon to take advantage of the phytonutrient that's going to help repair those neurons. Then you're going to bring in dark leafy greens, some B vitamins, and then you're also potentially going to try an 18-hour fast now and again, or most certainly a large glass of water before you have to do anything that's focus-based.